Hey everyone, you're here because you're thinking seriously about diversifying your retirement, maybe with a silver IRA.
Yeah, and it can feel like a lot, right? Trying to figure out which company to actually trust.
Totally. It seems overwhelming. So, our mission today is really just to cut through some of that confusion.
Hmm.
We found a really helpful article, actually, that gives some solid guidance on what you need to look out for.
Exactly. Consider this a way to get equipped, you
Yeah.
know, to feel more confident picking the right partner for adding physical silver to your IRA.
Right. Because it's not just buying silver, it's about safeguarding your future.
It really is. You're looking at silver as, well, potentially a key part of your long-term security.
And the company you choose. They're more than just, like, processing the transaction.
Oh, absolutely. They're your guide. There are specific rules, regulations. It's a whole process.
So this deep dive, using insights from that article, should give you the critical questions you need to be asking.
It may be some red flags to spot along the way based on expert takes.
Okay, so first up, the guide really hammers home this idea of expertise.
Yeah.
And it's not just knowing about precious metals, is it? They have to understand retirement funds, too.
That's absolutely crucial. It's a make or break factor, really.
Why is that duality so important, though?
Well, think about it. If you have a metals dealer who doesn't really grasp the IRA rules,
Okay.
they might, maybe unintentionally, guide you towards silver that isn't even eligible for an IRA.
Ah, right. And that could mean penalties.
Big-time penalties, yeah.
Yeah.
Costly mistakes. So that dual expertise, it's about protecting your retirement funds.
So they need to get the rollovers, the types of bullion allowed, all of that compliance stuff.
Every step. You want to see a proven track record,
Yeah.
knowledgeable staff in both areas.
Makes total sense. Like needing a plumber and an electrician for a kitchen remodel, not just one.
Good analogy. You don't want half the job done.
Okay, another thing the article stressed was accessibility. Customer service. Sounds basic, but how easy is it really to get hold of these companies when you actually need them?
And that's not just for setting things up, right?
Yeah.
Think about later on. You have a question about a fee or a transaction.
Yeah, that's when you really need someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where responsive customer service is critical. So, look at how you can contact them. Phone, email.
Maybe even in person, if that's an option.
Yeah, sure, that can be valuable. And check their support hours. Are they open when you need them?
And how fast do they actually get back to you? And is the answer actually helpful?
Precisely. Good communication isn't just nice to have. It shows they value your business. They're there to support you long term.
Yeah, I can imagine the frustration trying to track something down and just getting radio silence. Builds distrust fast.
Absolutely.
The article also dives into something critical. The fee structure needs to be totally transparent.
Oh, non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Especially with investments. No hidden charges.
Right. So what kind of fees should people be looking for?
Well, reputable companies will just give you a clear breakdown. You need to ask about setup fees, annual maintenance fees, sometimes called custodial
Yeah.
fees. Storage fees are a big one.
And transaction fees, like for buying and selling.
Yep, those too. Don't be shy about asking for a full fee schedule. Make sure you understand every potential cost up front.
Because those unexpected fees can really eat into your returns over time.
Significantly.
And starting the whole thing,
No.
setting up the account, that shouldn't be a nightmare, should it?
No, definitely not. A good company, a reputable one, they'll have a streamlined process.
So they should be able to just walk you through it step by step.
Clearly. Explain the paperwork, funding the account, all of it, and give you a realistic timeline too.
What if it seems really complicated or they're kind of vague on how long it takes?
That could be a bit of a warning sign. It should feel efficient. They should respect your time.
Okay. So account set up, you've bought the silver,
Mhm.
now it needs to actually get somewhere safe. The article mentions the delivery time frame.
Right, the metal delivery time.
Why is that something to pay attention to?
Well, you want that assurance, don't you? That your investment is secured quickly.
Makes sense.
A reliable company has set procedures. They acquire the metals, transfer them to the depository. It should happen in a reasonable time frame.
And delays could signal issues.
Could raise concerns, yeah,
Okay.
about their operations, maybe even the security of your assets indirectly. Prompt, secure transfer shows they're serious about protecting your investment.
Okay, this next point seems really specific and super important. Storage and safeguarding.
Ah, yes. Critical stuff here.
The article gets into segregated versus commingled storage and allocated versus non-allocated. Can you break that down? Why does it matter for my silver in an IRA?
Absolutely. So first off, The IRS rules say your physical silver must be held in an approved depository until you're 59 and a half.
Right. You can't just keep it at home.
Exactly, so you're trusting a third party. Now, segregated storage means your specific coins or bars are kept separate. Think of it like your own little labeled box in the vault.
Okay, separate from everyone else's.
Correct. Commingled storage means it's all mixed together, like a shared pile.
Gotcha.
The article strongly recommends segregated. Better security, clear ownership of your actual bullion, less chance of mix-ups or issues.
Okay, so segregated means my stuff is set aside. What about allocated versus non-allocated then?
Allocated takes it a step further. It means specific serial numbers on bars or specific tubes of coins are officially assigned to you. In the records, it says, this bar belongs to your name.
Ah, so it's legally earmarked as mine.
Precisely. Non-allocated is more like you own a share of a larger pool of silver held by the depository. Even if it's segregated physically, you don't have title to specific pieces.
And why is allocated so important? The article mentioned something about depository issues.
Yeah, that's the key protection. If, in the very unlikely event, the depository had financial problems, like bankruptcy,
Okay.
your allocated metals are legally yours. They can't be claimed by the depository's creditors. They're not part of the depository's general assets.
Wow, okay. That's a huge distinction. So the gold standard is a company offering segregated and allocated storage.
That's what you should aim for, yes. And ideally, included in their standard storage fees, not as some expensive add-on.
Right. Be wary if they push commingled first and then try to upsell you later.
Definitely. It might suggest their default isn't the highest security level for you. You want that peace of mind from the start.
The article also warns about companies that seem to really push specific coins or products, often the pricier ones.
Yeah, that's a potential red flag.
What's the risk there?
Well, it could mean their main motivation is their profit margin on those particular items.
Rather than what's actually best for my goals.
Exactly. A reputable company should offer a balanced range of IRA-eligible silver. They should focus on educating you so you make informed choices based on your needs, your risk tolerance.
Not based on their sales quota.
Right. High-pressure tactics around specific coins. Proceed with caution. Maybe get a second opinion.
Good advice. Now, thinking about flexibility down the road, the article mentions buyback programs.
Very important feature.
What exactly is that, and why should someone look for it?
A buyback program is basically the company saying, when you're ready to sell or take distributions, we'll buy your metals back from you.
Okay, so it provides an exit strategy.
A convenient one, yes. It gives you liquidity. You want to look for clear, favorable terms, though. How do they determine the buyback price?
So you know you have a reliable way to get your cash when you need it without scrambling?
Precisely. It adds a layer of security and convenience.
Yes, ma'am. And underlying all of this is trust, right? The company's reputation.
Absolutely fundamental. In finance, reputation is everything. It's built over time.
So how do you check that beyond just their website?
Look for independent reviews. What are other investors saying online? Check ratings with the Better Business Bureau, the BBB, or the Business Consumer Alliance, BCA.
Look for complaints, regulatory issues.
Definitely. See if there have been any official actions filed against them. A long history of satisfied clients and transparent operations is what you want to see.
Okay. And the article also clears up something that I think can be confusing. The different roles of the silver IRA company and the custodian.
Yes, they're distinct, and that's important.
Can you break that down simply?
Sure. Think of the silver IRA company as your facilitator, your guide. They help you open the account, transfer the money, choose the silver, make the purchase.
Okay, they handle the setup and buying process.
Right. The custodian is a separate entity, often a bank or a trust company. They're the ones who actually hold your physical silver in that IRS-approved depository.
Ah, so they're the ones safeguarding the metal and making sure everything follows IRS rules.
Exactly. They ensure compliance. The silver IRA company needs to have good relationships with reputable custodians to make it all work smoothly.
So they work together, but having separate roles provides checks and balances.
That's the idea. It's a layer of security.
That makes it much clearer. The setup company and the holding company are different. Okay, and finally, the article actually names a few companies as examples. It mentioned Augusta Precious Metals, Goldco, and American Hartford Gold.
Yes, it did. And it pointed out some specific things based on its research.
Like Augusta having 0 BBB and BCA complaints ever. That seems pretty significant.
It really does. Suggests very consistent customer satisfaction and ethical dealings over time.
And Goldco was noted for a high percentage of satisfied customers.
Again, pointing towards positive client experiences, which is what you want.
And American Hartford Gold was called the best silver IRA newcomer.
Suggesting they've made a strong positive impression fairly quickly in the market. So yeah, according to the article, these are companies that seem to tick a lot of the boxes we've discussed. Could be good starting points for people doing their own research.
Definitely. So, okay, let's try to wrap this up. If you're looking into a silver IRA, the big things to really focus on are
That dual expertise of retirement funds and metals.
right, easy access, good customer service, totally clear fees, no surprises.
A smooth, efficient setup process. Reasonable delivery times for the metal.
And that absolutely critical storage piece.
Hmm.
Make sure it's segregated and allocated.
Very important. Also, watch out for aggressive sales tactics, pushing specific products.
Look for a solid buyback program for flexibility later.
And check that company reputation thoroughly. Look for established players with clean records.
And understanding the difference between the IRA company that helps you buy and the custodian that holds it.
Exactly. Nail down these points, and you're in a much better position to choose wisely.
You'll be empowered to find a company that fits your goals and gives you that security and trust you need for your financial future.
Well said.
So, thinking about all these key aspects,
Yeah.
the expertise, the service, the transparency, the secure storage, that unbiased advice, the buyback option, the reputation, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
Mm.
Considering your own personal financial situation, your goals for security down the road, what parts of this discussion really hit home for you? And, how might holding physical silver managed through a trustworthy IRA partner actually fit into those personal priorities?
That's a great question for reflection.
Definitely something to mull over. Maybe even check out those companies mentioned earlier as a next step. But for now, that brings us to the end of this deep dive.